She cheated with my neighbor, but his girlfriend upstairs changed everything. The takeout bag weighs nothing in my hand, but my legs feel like lead as I climb the stairs to our apartment. Thai food, her favorite. The coconut curry smell mingles with the evening air, and for a moment everything feels normal. Perfect, even. The client's project fell through this morning, sending me home 2 days early, and all I could think about on the flight was surprising Sarah. 3 months. That's how long this unease has been eating at me. 3 months since David moved in. Next door since that birthday party where something shifted in the air between them like tectonic plates realigning. I shake my head, forcing the thought away. Trust issues, she'd said. Paranoia. The key turns silently in the lock. I've gotten good at coming home quiet, a habit from late nights not wanting to wake her. The apartment glows with that specific dimness she loves. Amber light from the salt lamp in the corner painting shadows on the walls. Music drifts from somewhere deeper in the apartment. No, not music. Voices. Her laugh rings out, that particular laugh I thought belonged only to our private moments. My stomach clenches. Then his voice, low and familiar. David. They're probably just talking. He lives next door. It's nothing. But my feet move without permission, drawn down the hallway like a moth to flame. The bedroom door stands slightly ajar, a slice of light cutting through the darkness. I push it open with my fingertips, and time stops. The sheets are tangled around them like a confession. Sarah's dark hair spills across the pillow, our pillow, while David's hand rests on her bare shoulder. They're laughing at something on his phone, completely absorbed in their own universe. A universe that apparently exists in my bed, in my home, in the life I thought we were building together. Shit. David sees me first, his face draining of color. Sarah's eyes find mine, and for one crystalline moment I see everything. Surprise, yes, but not guilt. Not really. Just irritation at being interrupted. Babe? She starts, pulling the sheet up, running her hand through her hair in that nervous gesture I once found endearing. I don't speak. Can't speak. The takeout bag slips from my numb fingers, hitting the floor with a wet thud. Pad Thai spills across the hardwood like my entire world unraveling in slow motion. I turn and walk out, my body on autopilot. Through the hallway, past the photos of us in Prague, in Tokyo, at her sister's wedding, out the door, down the stairs, into my car. The steering wheel feels cold under my palms. I've been sitting here for 2 hours now, watching the lights in our apartment, her apartment now, flicker on and off, watching shadows move behind curtains, watching David's silhouette eventually slink back to his place next door. My phone buzzes incessantly. Sarah's name lights up the screen again and again. I don't read the messages, don't answer the calls. Instead, I stare at the building that holds the ruins of my life and feel nothing. Just hollow. Tomorrow, I'll have to go back. Pack my things. Face her. Face him at work. Face the humiliation of everyone knowing. But tonight, I sit in this car in the dark, wondering how I became a ghost in my own life. The strangest part? Deep down, I knew. Some primal part of me had been screaming warnings for months. Every lingering glance, every inside joke I wasn't part of, every time she turned her phone face down when I entered the room. I knew, and I ignored it, because believing in us was easier than believing my instincts. A tap on my window makes me jump. Through the glass, I see a face I don't expect. Mia, from 2 floors up, holding a steaming mug and wearing an oversized sweater that swallows her small frame. She mouths, "You okay?" I've barely spoken 10 words to her in the 2 years she's lived here, but something in her eyes, not pity but understanding, makes me roll down the window. "Saw you sitting here," she says softly, offering the mug. Thought you might need this. It's bourbon. The coffee's just for show. Despite everything, I almost smile. You don't have to talk about it, Mia says, sliding into my passenger seat uninvited. The December air follows her in, sharp and clarifying. But you also don't have to sit here alone, looking like someone killed your dog. Worse, I hear myself say. They killed my future. She takes a sip from her own mug, apparently she brought two, and stares straight ahead at the building. Third floor, Unit 3B, right? Sarah? I nod, surprised she knows. Thin walls, she explains. I'm right above. You. Heard the arguing last month. Heard the other things, too. A pause. Heard them tonight before you got home. The information sits between us, heavy and undeniable. So everyone knew, everyone but me. Or maybe I knew too, and just refused to see. How long? I ask. 2 months, maybe more. I'm sorry. I wanted to say something, but... She shrugs. What do you say? Hey, neighbor, I barely know. I think your girlfriend's screwing the guy next door? A laugh escapes me, bitter and sharp. Would have saved me the trouble of finding out myself. Mia turns to look at me properly for the first time. In the dim light from the street lamp, I notice things I've never noticed before. The way her nose crinkles slightly when she's thinking. The tiny scar through her left eyebrow. The way she tucks her hair behind her ear repeatedly, like a nervous tick. You know what the worst part is? I say, surprising myself by continuing. I changed my whole life for her. Moved here from Seattle. Left a job I loved. All because she had this dream of living in Portland. Starting fresh. And now you're stuck here. Stuck watching them play house next door. The reality of it hits fresh, and I grip the steering wheel tighter. I can't stay in that apartment, but I can't leave either. My job, my lease, everything's here now. Mia's quiet for a moment, then, you could stay with me. I turn to stare at her. What? I mean, temporarily. I have a spare room. It's small, mostly boxes right now, but it's better than listening to them through the walls. She rushes on, cheeks flushing. It's not charity or pity or whatever. I know what it's like to have your world implode and need to be somewhere else. Somewhere that doesn't have their ghost in every corner. There's a story there. In the way her voice cracks slightly, but I don't push. I don't even know you, I say. No, she agrees. But you don't know the person you thought you lived with either, apparently. At least with me. You know what you're getting. A stranger with a spare room and good bourbon. She's got a point. The thought of going back upstairs, of sleeping in that bed, of pretending everything's normal until I can find a new place, it makes me nauseous. Just for tonight, I say. Just for tonight, she agrees. We sit in comfortable silence for a few more minutes, sipping bourbon-laced coffee and watching the building like it might reveal its secrets. Finally, Mia speaks again. We should go up. Get your things. Now? Now. While you're still numb. While the anger hasn't fully set in yet. She meets my eyes. Trust me on this. Get what you need tonight, deal with the rest later, and I'll go with you. Moral support, or immoral support, depending on what you need. Something about her presence, calm, steady, unexpectedly warm, makes the impossible feel manageable. We get out of the car together, and I notice she's wearing ridiculous fuzzy slippers with bear faces on them. Nice footwear for a rescue mission, I comment. Hey, I didn't know I'd be staging an intervention tonight. I was planning on Netflix and self-pity. She grins, and it transforms her face. Your drama's much more interesting than mine. We climb the stairs together, and with each step, I feel something shifting. Not healing. It's too soon for that. But maybe the beginning of something. At my door, I hesitate. She might be there. I warn. Good, Mia says, and there's steel in her voice. I've got some things I'd like to say to her, neighbor to neighbor. I unlock the door. The apartment's dark now, but Sarah's perfume lingers in the air like a ghost. We move quickly, quietly. I grab clothes, laptop, the watch my father gave me. Mia helps, saying nothing when I pause at a photo of Sarah and me in happier times. We're almost out when Sarah appears in the hallway, wearing my old Columbia sweatshirt. "Where are you going?" I don't answer, but Mia does. "He's moving upstairs." "With me." Sarah's eyes narrow, taking in Mia for the first time. "Who the hell are you?" "The neighbor who's been listening to you moan David's name for 2 months," Mia says sweetly. "Thin walls, remember?" Sarah's face flushes, and she turns to me. "We need to talk." "No," I say, finding my voice. "We don't." And then we're leaving. Mia and I, with my life in 2 duffel bags and her hand briefly touching my back in solidarity. The spare room in Mia's apartment smells like vanilla candles and old books. Boxes line one wall, labeled in neat handwriting. Kitchen stuff, winter clothes, mom's things, don't open. A futon sits in the corner, already made up with clean sheets. "It's not much," she says, hovering in the doorway as I set down my bags. "It's perfect." And I mean it. It's a room without memories, without betrayal soaking into the walls. She leaves me to settle in, and I sit on the futon, finally checking. My phone, 47 messages from Sarah, 12 from David. I delete them all without reading, then turn the phone off entirely. When I emerge an hour later, Mia's in her kitchen, cooking something that smells incredible. She's changed out of the oversized sweater into yoga pants and a tank top, her hair pulled up in a messy bun. There's a glass of wine waiting for me on the counter. "Figured you haven't eaten?" she says without turning around. And that Thai food is definitely a lost cause. "You didn't have to." "I'm making dinner anyway. Might as well make extra." She glances over her shoulder. "Besides, you look like you might disappear if someone doesn't feed you." We eat mostly in silence, some kind of pasta with garlic and herbs that tastes like comfort itself. Occasionally our eyes meet, and she offers a small smile. It's not pity. It's something else. Recognition, maybe. "Can I ask you something?" I say finally. "Shoot." "You said you knew what it was like. Having your world implode." She sets down her fork, considers. 3 years ago. Came home early from a work trip. Funny how it's always that, isn't it? Found my fiancé in our bed with my best friend. She takes a sip of wine. The wedding was in 2 weeks. Deposits paid, dress fitted. The works. Jesus. Yeah. Moved here right after. Started over. Hence all the boxes I still haven't unpacked. She gestures around the apartment. Turns out running away doesn't mean you ever really arrive anywhere. Do you regret it? Running? No. The answer comes quick, certain. Staying would have been worse. Watching them together. Pretending to be okay. Trying to salvage a life built on lies. No. Leaving was the only choice that let me keep myself intact. I think about tomorrow. About facing David at work. About Sarah living next door. I can't. Run! Everything I have is here. Then you don't run. You rebuild. Right here. Right in front of them. She leans forward, eyes intense. You make them watch you become someone better without them. It's the best revenge, really. You make it sound easy. It's not. It's hell. But it's your hell, you know. You get to choose how you burn. There's something about the way she says it, fierce and protective of a pain she's earned, that makes me really see her for the first time. Not just the neighbor from upstairs, but Mia. Sharp and soft in equal measure. Survivor of her own disaster. Thank you, I say, for all of this. The room, the food, the bourbon coffee? Especially that. She smiles, and this time it reaches her eyes. What are neighbors for? We move to her couch, and she puts on some mindless action movie. I'm not watching it, not really. I'm hyper-aware of her presence beside me, the way she curls her feet under herself, the way she laughs at the terrible dialogue. It's the first time in hours I'm not thinking about Sarah and David. You know what the really fucked up part is? I say suddenly. I'm almost relieved. Like I've been holding my breath for months, waiting for the other shoe to drop, and now it has. That's not fucked up. That's instinct. Your body knew before your brain caught up. My body's an idiot for staying so long. No, she says softly. You stayed because you're hopeful, because you believe in people. Those aren't flaws, even when they hurt you. Our eyes meet and hold. There's something happening here, in this space between trauma and whatever comes next. It's not attraction, not yet. It's too soon, too raw for that. But it's something. A recognition of matching wounds, maybe. My phone buzzes on the coffee table. I'd turned it back on to set an alarm. Sarah's name appears. She's outside my door. Mia reads the text upside down. She wants to talk to you. We can hear her through the ceiling, knocking on Mia's door now. I know you're in there. We need to talk about this like adults. Want me to handle it? Mia asks. No, I should. I start to stand, but Mia catches my arm. You don't owe her anything. Not an explanation, not closure, not even acknowledgement. Sarah's knocking gets louder. This is ridiculous. You can't just hide up there. Watch me, I mutter, and Mia laughs, bright and unexpected. That's the spirit. We sit together on the couch, listening to Sarah eventually give up and retreat. The movie plays on. Mia's hand is still on my arm, and neither of us moves to change that. 2 weeks pass in Mia's apartment. 2 weeks of avoiding Sarah in the hallway, of David trying to corner me at work, of learning the rhythm of a life I never expected. Mia leaves coffee ready every morning, comes home with takeout for 2 without. Asking fills the silence with easy conversation when I need it and comfortable quiet when I don't. Tonight, she's painting in the living room, something she does when she can't sleep. I watch from the kitchen doorway, mesmerized by the way she moves, precise but fluid, like she's conducting an orchestra only she can hear. You're staring, she says without turning around. You're worth staring at. The words hang between us. She sets down her brush, turns slowly. Paint streaks her cheek and her tank top is splattered with blues and greens. Don't do that. Do what? Look at me like I'm some kind of life raft. She steps closer. I'm not your rebound. I'm not your salvation. I'm just as broken as you are. I know. And I do. These 2 weeks, I've learned her patterns, too. The way she won't open that box of her mother's things. The way she flinches when couples kiss on TV. The way she sometimes stares at nothing, lost in memories I can't touch. Maybe that's why this works. This? Whatever we're doing here. She's close enough now that I can smell the paint, the wine on her breath, the vanilla lotion she uses. What are we doing here? I don't know. It's the truth. But I know I don't want to figure it out anywhere else. She reaches up, touches the side of my face with paint-stained fingers. You're not ready for this. Neither are you. Exactly. But she doesn't step back. We could ruin each other. We're already ruined. That's not... She stops, sighs. You don't get it. I don't do halfway. If we start this, whatever this is, I'm going to want all of you. The broken parts, the angry parts, the parts that still... Think about her when you can't sleep. And you think I don't want the same? You think I don't hear you crying in your room some nights? You think I don't see how you avoid that box like it might bite you? I catch her hand, hold it between us. I want your ghosts too, Mia. They can keep mine company. She kisses me then, sudden and fierce, like she's trying to prove a point. It tastes like paint and possibility and all the reasons this is a terrible idea. When she pulls back, we're both breathing hard. This is going to hurt, she whispers. Everything already hurts. At least this might hurt good. She laughs, dark and lovely. Hurt good. I like that. A knock at the door interrupts us. We freeze, her hand still in mine. Mia? It's David. I need to talk to him. I know he's there. Absolutely not, Mia calls back, not moving from where she's pressed against me. This is between us, David insists through the door. No, I say, loud enough for him to hear. It was between us when we were friends, when I helped you find that apartment, when I invited you into my life. Now it's just done. You don't understand. I understand plenty. I feel Mia's hand tighten in mine. I understand you fucked my girlfriend in my bed while I was gone. What else is there? Silence. Then, I love her. The words should hurt, but they don't. They're almost funny. Good for you. Love her next door. Love her anywhere that isn't here. You can't avoid us forever. We all live in the same building. Mia turns toward the door. Actually, about that. Building management knows about the noise complaints I've been filing. Turns out lease violations for excessive disturbances are taken pretty seriously. You wouldn't. Try me. Her voice is steel. I've got 3 months of documented complaints, time-stamped, detailed. David's footsteps retreat, and Mia turns back to me, grinning. I haven't actually filed anything, but he doesn't know that. You're terrifying. You have no idea. She pulls me toward the couch. Now, where were we? We sink into the cushions, and this time when she kisses me, it's slower, more deliberate. Like we have time. Like we're not two broken people making potentially catastrophic decisions. Tell me about the box, I say against her lips. She stiffens. What? Your mom's things, the box you won't open, tell me. She's quiet for so long I think she won't answer. Then, she died. 6 months before I caught Eric cheating. Cancer. I was so focused on taking care of her, I didn't notice my life falling apart behind me. She traces patterns on my chest. The box has her journals, her letters to me. I'm afraid if I open it, I'll fall apart completely. Maybe falling apart completely is what you need, says the man living in my spare room to avoid his feelings. Fair point. I pull her closer. We could fall apart together, compare notes, rate our breakdowns on a scale of 1 to 10. She laughs, real and unguarded. You're ridiculous. You like it. I really do. She kisses me again, deeper this time. God help me, I really do. 6 months later, I'm making coffee in what used to be my apartment when Mia comes in with the last box from upstairs. Sarah moved out 3 months ago, couldn't handle the proximity after David left her for someone else. Poetic justice that I didn't even have to orchestrate. That's the last of it, Mia says, setting the box on the counter. It's labeled Mom's Things, finally opened. We opened it together last month on a rain-soaked Sunday when the ghosts felt too heavy to carry alone. She cried. I held her. We read her mother's letters out loud, and somehow the world didn't end. Are you sure about this? She asks, wrapping her arms around me from behind. Moving back down here? We could have just kept things at my place. I turn in her arms. Your place is tiny. Besides, this isn't moving backwards. The apartment's different now. We're different now. She's painted every wall. We've replaced all the furniture. There's nothing left of the life I had before except the address, and even that feels like defiance rather than surrender. We rebuilt right where everything fell apart, just like she said we could. I love you, I say, the words still feeling new after 2 months of saying them. I know, she grins. You told me 12 times yesterday. 13. You were asleep for 1. She kisses me, slow and sure, and I think about how wrong I was that night in my car, thinking my future had been killed. It hadn't died. It had just changed shape, transformed into something I never could have imagined when I was busy planning a life with the wrong person. David texted me, she says against my lips. I pull back. What? When? This morning, from his new number. Said he heard we were together now. Said some shit about me being a vulture, swooping in when you were vulnerable. What did you say? Nothing. But I did send him a photo. Of? She pulls out her phone, shows me the image she sent. Us at the farmer's market last weekend. Me kissing her temple while she laughs at something off camera. We look radiantly, obnoxiously happy. Petty, I observe. Extremely. You mad? Extremely turned on, actually. She laughs, that bright sound that's become the soundtrack to my new life. Come on, we have dinner with your parents in an hour, and you still need to shower. Join me? Always. Later at dinner, my mother pulls me aside while Mia's charming. My father with stories from her job. She's different, Mom observes. From Sarah, I mean. Everything's different. Good different? I watch Mia gesture animatedly, paint under her fingernails that she can never quite get clean. Wearing the dress she bought specifically for meeting my parents but paired with her beat-up Converse because she's still herself, always herself. The best different, I tell my mother. That night, in our bed, hours now, bought together, chosen together, Mia traces patterns on my bare chest in the dark. Do you ever think about how we got here? She asks. How something so awful led to this? Every day. Do you wish it happened differently? I consider lying, giving the noble answer. But we don't lie to each other. It's our rule. The foundation everything else is built on. No, I admit. I wish it hadn't hurt so much. I wish you hadn't been hurt before. But if it all had to happen to get us here, then no. I wouldn't change it. She's quiet for a moment. Then, I'm pregnant. The world stops, restarts, stops again. What? Found out this morning. I've been trying to figure out how to tell you all day. Her voice is small. I know we haven't talked about this. I know it's soon. I know. I kiss. Her quiet, then pull back to see her face in the moonlight. She's crying. Happy tears or scared tears? I ask. Both. All. Everything tears. Me too. And I am crying, unexpected and overwhelming. A baby, she confirms. Our catastrophically bad timing continues. Our catastrophically perfect timing, I correct. She laughs through her tears. We're really doing this? All of it? All of it, I promise. The whole beautiful disaster. She kisses me then, and I think about that night 8 months ago, sitting in my car with my world in ruins. How Mia appeared like a beacon in bear slippers, offering bourbon-laced coffee and a spare room. How destruction became reconstruction. How sometimes the best things grow from the ashes of what we thought we wanted. I love you, she says. 13 times today. 14, I correct. You texted it while I was in the shower. Doesn't count if you weren't there to receive it. Everything counts. Every word, every moment, every terrible decision that led us here. She curls into me and I hold her. This woman who taught me that breaking apart and coming together aren't opposites but part of the same motion, like breathing, like living, like love itself, messy and imperfect and absolutely worth the pain it takes to find it. In the morning, we'll start making new plans. We'll tell our families. We'll figure out logistics and futures and how to be parents when we're still figuring out how to be ourselves. But tonight, we just hold each other in the apartment where I lost everything and found everything, where the walls have heard heartbreak and healing in equal measure, where love isn't a straight line but a spiral circling back on itself, transforming with each pass. Tonight, we're home.